Today's video is going to be on the Danger Ranger. I have a custom set of wheels being made for it. Or actually, I'm making them myself. They're a one wheel. They're a 22 by 14 billet wheel that is going on the Ranger. It's going to have a smaller one up front, but like I said, they're going to be 22 to 23 by 14s on the rear. They're a one-of wheel billet. You're not going to find these wheels anywhere. So for now, I'm going to get started making these wheels. I'm trying to settle on a wood lag to mount the plate to the wood wheel. Thought about going with these, but I think they might be a little too small. I think we'll go with these 3/8 by 8 inch lags. I feel like those will work. There's a big pile of like cutoffs from some loggers right here that they're not needing anymore, so I'm trying to look through here, find the best one I can to cut down. I was hoping to get a 24. Actually, it needed to be more like a 35 inches. That way my rear bumper doesn't drag. Otherwise, I'll have to lift the rear end up. A lot of these look kind of hollow in the center, so not sure those will work. I think that one down there might work. Not sure how big it is, but they also need to be round, you know, as round as possible, like this one right here. Probably still not big enough. Well, it's 20 inches. I could make that one work. I'm here trying to find me a chainsaw. I really want this one. It's like an 80 volt electric Cobalt, but out of stock. So I was looking at this knockoff looking one, and that 90-day, take that back, that's 90 cuts per charge. Looks like they got a 30-day return period, so if I don't like it, I could always return it. Or we got the Huskies over here. Change of plans. I think I'm gonna try out this Ego. I think it's an Ego, 18 inch. I'm not sure what voltage that one is. Oh, 56 volt. 349, and it's like we got the Huskies, 399, but I'm down to try an electric one. I've got my first pattern made. You can see I used a wheel spacer, or this is actually part of an adapter, but it's a 5 by 4.5 or 5 by 114 bolt pattern. So I used it to space out my piece here. This will attach to the wheel spacers on Danger Ranger, and out here there's going to be holes punched as well, which are going to attach to the wheel logs. So I'll add some spacers on, and if I wanted to attach directly to the hub, I would actually need to cut that centerpiece out, but since I'm just mounting to wheel spacers, it's completely flat, I won't actually need to cut that out. I've got all the holes punched, center and outer. I got a 3/8 inch lag that'll go through them. Should fit right in there. Good. I think it'll be strong enough to hold it. For sure, being there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them per wheel. Moment of truth. Let's see if I got those holes punched right. You can see they're in the center where I would have actually taken that ring out, but when you add spaces on it, the outside will actually be flat. So I'll see if it fits. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I gave it just a little bit extra room where those nuts go on, the self-centering nuts where they can center it up. So that's why those holes are just a little bigger. This is not a cheap wheel like most of those wheels you see out there. It is not a cast wheel. This is a billet wood wheel. So here's where the plates are going to mount. And I had punched the center hole. I'll get a little pin put in so I can center it up. Because this here has to get bolted to the wheel spacers. Then the lags run through the outside. So this mounts first, and this will tell me where to drill those holes at. These here are going to be my center lines. They're going to align the center. So if I get my drill bit, it's like a 5/8 center, and then the outside ones have to be at 3/4 or bigger because they have to actually be able to countersink the nut from the stud. So the stud will be inside there, and this nut on the back side. So there's got to be a big enough hole back there. You can see it should center it now. It should slide right on here. Keep you centered, just like that. And now these others get I'll go with the 1" to give them quite a bit of room. There you can see where the nuts should seat. The stud will stick in there, and then each nut should sit in there like that. So I should just have to get that center alignment peg down there lined up with the center, and my little paint mark right here to know which way to turn it. And you can see each of them line up, the holes underneath. Got the alignment peg to center it. So then each of those lags will go through here and mount it to here after this gets bolted to the wheel spacers. Now I just have 2 more to go. Because of the wood wheels only being like 23 inches tall, unlike these here being like 35 total with the tire, I made myself a sketchy lift. I didn't want to have to reverse the axle back with the leaf spring on top, so instead I just threw that in there, tack welded it, so now we got a solid, basically it's solid with no suspension. Next, got my steel plate going on. Getting the first one mounted up, got to run those lags through those back holes there, but everything else is looking good. I ended up having to get a lot shorter lags. The other ones kept on breaking off, and now I've got to pre-drill them too, so I can even put them in there. This one here had one head that broke off somewhere in here. Check the bottom side down there. But If this side breaks, I'm assuming the whole truck's gonna tip over. I've got to back it up so I can get that front wheel swapped out. And got a little bit of room here in the back. It's almost touching, but the other wheel is also sets 5 inches lower than this one. So we'll see how much room I have once we get it up here. It does ride a little rough on concrete, but I think once I get in the dirt with them, they should be just fine. I've even got some center caps for them. I just have to shave it down so they go on there, just like that. My front wheel has just a little bit of play, actually quite a bit. But that's because the bolt that I ran through to hold the hub into the bearing has actually threaded loose because it had a little weld right there so I could tell if it came loose. So I've got to tighten that back up and weld it a little tighter to get rid of that play. Here you can see where the bolt goes through, and inside the hub a wheel bearing was actually added into there and just grease put on it so it can spin like that. But because that bolt loosened up coming through there, it made that whole thing loose, so I got to tighten that up. That is not designed to have a bearing in there. Normally you would have an axle come through there and the axle nut would tighten up, but this is just what I used to make it work. I don't think that nut will come back loose. I actually went ahead and just welded it all the way around. I've got the front wheel done. I actually wanted to go wider than that, but because I needed one spacer to mount to, that there kept it centered. If I went much wider, it'd be way offset. The back looks ridiculous. Them were actually 16 wides. I had measured them. So 16 wide, 23 tall. So they're 23 by 16s. That is going to be all for today. I was originally going to put this all in one video. It took way longer to build these than I expected. So the next one, we'll be testing it out off-road, see how it drives, see if it holds up. And if you don't see any more uploads after this video, just know something happened while I was filming.